Well, recently I've been thinking about this verse, Galatians 5:13. For you have been called to live in freedom, my brothers and sisters, but don't use your freedom to satisfy your sinful nature. Instead, use your freedom to serve one another in love. And just going off of that, I wanted to start to start my thoughts with like a Bible verse, because balancing away from that though, I've been thinking a lot about like living in the Spirit, and what does that mean, and a lot of times I get stuck on just my own ugliness, and I can't even pull out of that. I feel like I'm still like living in this kind of struggling to like rise above my own ugliness, but it's like I think I'm kind of getting past this, maturing to maybe hopefully a new level where I'm accepting the grace of Jesus more now. Like I still struggle even to accept that grace. And I remember my wife's dad said like he's kind of prophet dude, prayer guy, and he said life life for you is like it's like a dance everywhere you go. It's like it's going to be like a dance, and that just has really struck a chord with me, because it's like everywhere you go it can be like a different tempo or a different rhythm, and it's like just kind of finding that rhythm wherever you go, and it can be like positive. I mean, I think it's always positive, but like again, it's like for me it's not getting stuck on what's negative. It's the negative stuff is loud and hard not to get stuck on, and it just pulls you down, and I'm just learning to accept like, yeah, that freedom of Christ, or from Christ for me, is like just accepting the positive, and like realizing that my ugliness is coated over, that ugly kind of rhythm, I guess you would say, even to the world, has been just coated over, just kind of ignoring it in a sense, but not pretending like it's not there, you know what I mean? But just living with it, but living out of that new life, that freedom to serve one another in love. But I still struggle with rising above my own ugliness. But I don't have to rise above it, because Christ says, you learn to like accept this. It's a constant like renewal of like, okay, I'm accepted, like my ugliness is paid for. So you have to constantly renew yourself in that. And I just am always like falling back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And yeah, and the thought of like even what do you, so when you can accept that grace, and I've even been able to accept that grace a lot more recently in my life, just like I can accept it. And then what do you do? Like, what do you do? Okay, like I feel I'm covered, but what do I do? Who do I mean, yeah, and then like, I don't know, I read this verse the other day, the Galatians verse about, here's another one, Galatians 5:6. For when we place our faith in Christ Jesus, there is no benefit in being circumcised or being uncircumcised. What is important is faith expressing itself in love. So it's simple, a simple faith, but it's also very hard in the same sense, So yeah, that's really been, or I've been struggling, or been just focusing on like, my mind wants to complicate things too. I want to complicate it. Just being at peace with the rhythm, finding that rhythm where I'm at, I guess, just flowing in that. Like the rhythm being, I don't know, it's like, music moves you, it moves us. When you hear a certain song, it moves you. It's not like you have to dance, or I guess like dancing per se would be more like moving with the rhythm and learning to move with different rhythms, and expanding your kind of musical taste in a sense, and not having to control that rhythm either. Like, it's going to be different everywhere, and if you try to control it, you're just going to get frustrated probably, I think. Or at least I have been frustrated in controlling it. Or trying to, and just getting frustrated.
It's a great metaphor.
Yeah, that's kind of all I got. I don't know.
Has it affected anything in your daily life yet?
I think it can. I mean, when I'm looking for like the beauty around me, instead of like, being so intrinsic, like thinking about my own problems or like, but just being more open, focused helps me, kind of get off myself. Get off of yourself, you gotta just let go a little bit of your own worries.